Hi everybody, I'm Pia from Stitches and Scraps, and today I want to show you how I'm shaping the features of this doll's face. I know it looks a little more like a potato right now, but it will eventually look like a doll. What I've done is I've marked where I want the eyes and I've marked where I want the nose. Now you'll notice that the eyes seem kind of spread far apart. This is the outside edge of the eye socket, so the eyes will be like this. And then the nose, I'm not going to sew it tight all the way up here at the point. I just wanted to make sure that the needles crossed in the middle between the two eyes. So I'm actually going to start the nose shaping probably right about here to give it a nice gentle slope to the nose. So let's start with the eyes, and what I'm going to do is insert my needle with the same yarn that I've been crocheting with in through the back or the top of the head, somewhere that's going to be covered by hair. And when I do that, I'm leaving a bit of a tail because I'll sew the tail in later. I could sew the tail in now while I'm doing it, but if I do that and then I don't like the shaping that I did and I want to rip it out, it'll be much harder. So I'm leaving the tail to sew in at the end so that I can rip out more easily if I want to. So I'm removing the stitch marker and I'm going to come down on the opposite side of this stitch, and then I'll come right back up at this stitch for this eye. And it doesn't really matter which side of the stitch I come up at. Okay. Now when I give that a tug, and I'm holding onto my tail so that my tail doesn't pull out, but when I give that a tug, it will sink in where that eye is. Okay. Now I'm going to take out this marker. Oops. And come back on the opposite side of this stitch. And in this case, I'll go straight out the back. Okay, now you can see when I pull on the tail, when I hold the tail in place and I pull on the two ends, I have eyes, and it already looks better. It looks more like a person. So now let's shape the nose. So I'm coming back in from the back, and I just go next to where I am so it catches. It's not going to show later. And I'm going to come out on one side of the bridge of the nose, right? Maybe about here. Okay. And don't pull hard on this time because we don't want to actually create a depression. So I'm going to take this and go right next to where I came in from and out the opposite side of the nose. About the same spacing on each side. So I'm about half a stitch or one stitch over from where my needle is on that side, and I'm on the same row about one stitch over from where my needle is on this side. And that actually maybe seems too big, so let me go in a little bit. Let's go right where the needle is. Okay, there we go. Right where the needle is, so I'm just sewing around that one stitch there, and I'm going to give this one a tug as well. And then I come back just below that, and I come across to the other side, same way, again, right where the needle is, right where the pin is, come back out the other side. And I keep going in a crisscross manner all the way down along this nose, tugging at it to give it the shape that I want. So right down here and back out this side. And I think I can get rid of these pins now. I'll do one more stitch, shape the nose just a little bit more. Down here and back out this side. Okay, now we have a bit of a nose shape, but it sticks up. It doesn't really curl under, right? We want it to do a little bit more like that. So we're going to come back down right next to there and come out in the middle here. Okay, right in the middle of our nose. And don't tug too hard. We're just moving the yarn at this point. Okay, so I'm right in the middle of the nose. Now I'm going to come underneath, right over from where I was, underneath, and back out up here somewhere at the top of the nose. And pull that. And that should pull it up a little bit. Now I'll go to the other side, back down where I came from, back up through the middle, and then through the other side and out that way. So I'm kind of making a diagonal line and pulling up. And what this should do is give me a little bit of a curve to the nose at the bottom, so the nose is indented slightly. And now I have more of a nose, like an actual nose shape. I'm not real happy with this side of the nose, so I can actually fix that. I come back out where I want to fix it, which is, well, in the middle, and then I go back in where I want to fix it. So right here, I'm going to go back in right here because that's sticking out a little bit too far, right? Let's push that in some more. There we go. Now I have a nose I'm really happy with. Just a tiny little button nose. And that looks a lot more like a face, doesn't it? When I do my eyes, the eyes are going to go into the eye sockets right here, so you'll have a big eye like that and a big eye like that. And I think I'm happy with it. So I think it's time to move on to the rest of the pattern. This pattern should be out in a couple of weeks, and when it is, I will add a link to the video so that you can find the pattern. I can't tell you what it is yet because it's a surprise, but when it comes out, I'll let you know. All right, thanks for watching.